is from Brooklyn. This dude here, his name, and he was an ex-felon. All these, I won't say all of them, but some of them, it seems like they all have something in common. They're half of them, or more than half of them, are felons in some type of way. Look at these beautiful faces. The mother, Miss Rasheeda Barzey, and her two children, Chloe Spears and Soleil Spears. The lady's name, Rasheeda Barzey, 45. Her daughter, Soleil Spears, 20. And Chloe Spears, 16. So what happened? Another diabolical, evil turd, demonic demon, one of the devil's disciples. So this guy, again, an ex-felon. All these guys, not all of them, seem to have something in common denominator. They some type of felons, abusive history, abuse women. They ain't man enough to go get in the ring with, I don't know, Dwayne Johnson or Terry Crews or WWF or what was the man, the other one, golly, I used to love this guy, not the caretaker. Oh my gosh, it's gonna come to me. But no, they're not man enough to do that. They're not man enough to get in the ring and fight Tyson. They're not man enough. You know, they want to pick on the woman and kids and elderly people. So what this joker did, his 8-year-old daughter was having a birthday party. I don't know, the little girl was turning 9 or 8, going into 9. But this happened April 2021, again in Brooklyn, in a housing project. He came to the birthday party late at night. I guess they had a history of domestic violence or abuse. His name is Joseph Crensom. He's 45 or 46. He had been in trouble, I don't know if he went to jail or went to prison in 95 for manslaughter. This woman had a 20-year relationship. She gave this man 20 years of her life and then had this little girl. So what he does, the little girl opens the door, you know, and I think they said he even told the little girl, I'm here for your birthday party. Can you imagine a child, what this kind of scar it's gonna leave on her, that hey, on my birthday my daddy came to the house and shot my mom in the head and shot my 2 big sisters in the head. And they said she ran because the bullets was flying, so he didn't even care if he shot her too, but most likely looked like he was aiming for this woman and her 2 daughters that she had in a previous relationship while his old raggedy butt was in the penitentiary. Okay, so he did kill himself. So he went on. Okay, so he was 18 when he shot a man in 1993. He was angry with the victim. Had broken up a fight he was watching. And then he was convicted of 2 bank robberies and sentenced to jail in 2013. Only served 5 years. So after he shot up the house of Miss Rasheeda, he walked down a couple of blocks and then shot himself. So now this child is forever scarred, because your birthday will never be the same. Okay, I don't care how many therapists or therapists that she has from 9 to 20 or 25. Your birthday will just never be the same. This man had left a permanent scar. Just demonic. One more knucklehead, demonic, crazy man, going back to what I saw some women was saying. It's just, this person do it. It's just that domestic violence, jealous men, narcissist men, cheaters, control freaks. That's everywhere. You have them in the Catholic, in the Muslim, in the Jewish, in Christianity, and atheists, and Hindu. Those type of men are everywhere, and they come in all colors. Okay, so bringing me to the next one, Spring, Texas. A man estranged from his wife and 4-year-old daughter appeared to have shot them and his mother-in-law, turning the weapon on himself, per Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. This is a Pakistani family that at the center of this tragedy. The woman, the wife, she worked at an Islamic school nearby, and her co-workers became concerned when the reliable employee did not show up for work. When they arrived at her apartment commons at Vintage Park Apartments, where she lived, 9700 block of Cypress Wood, at that moment, I just started crying. This is her neighbor. I just started crying. It's crazy how you see someone one moment, then you would never fathom something like this would happen. So when they check in on her, it was her mom, and her child. The mother-in-law was also speaking to people passing by. The lady said, when I did see the wife, she would speak. The little girl played with the lady in the building's little girl down the road. So they actually, I don't know, I was trying to find a picture, but make a long story short, this is a Pakistani family. Young couple, again, keyword estranged, another male with a chip on his shoulder. The wife is doing her thing, doing her life, running her life. I guess he thought that, hey, you know, without him, everything's supposed to fall to the wayside. She's not supposed to be able to live her life and be happy without him. Okay, that, you know. Two more stories that had happened recently. One, this happened during the holidays last year. This couple, the wife, and I think she was 41, or they were in their 40s. And this is the neighbors, another, you know, and it's, you know, I don't know. She went out with some neighbors, the husband and his wife. She left her husband behind. I don't know if he wanted to stay behind, but he stayed behind and watched the kids. So when she comes back at 3 a.m. in the morning, this was in Tomball, Texas. This happened in June this year. Husband mad. He's at the door. He's at the car fussing with the couple. Why you got my wife out at 3 o'clock in the morning? Why were y'all out drinking? Da-da-da-da-da. So they got to fighting. So the people sped off, and her husband, I think he's the one pulled his gun first and shot at these people. The other couple, that man comes back with his wife, and they fight again, and he shoots that man, the woman, the neighbor wife who he was out, they were all out drinking. He comes back and he shoots her husband. This is crazy. Okay, the husband who wife was out with the friends, I don't know if he told her, hey, you have a curfew, don't come here after 3. But it was not like she was out by herself. She was out with the neighbors. If he was that concerned, he should have got in his car and went over there and picked her up. To come out and throw a gun in the neighbor's face because your wife is out at 3 a.m., that was dumb. But that wasn't cool for them to come back and shoot and kill her crazy husband. Okay, there was another one similar to that one. I mean, it's been so many. With this one, the husband, they both in their mid-40s. They had went out again partying, people partying and drinking. So the wife must have been in a conversation with a man at the party. So when they gets home, again, another jealous, narcissistic, control freak husband or spouse. He confronts the wife, jumps on her at home. The kids, I don't know how many kids they had there at home sleeping. And next thing the kids say they hear was some gunshots. Both the parents. This man shoots the wife and himself, and I will post that because she was talking to a man at the Christmas party. He mad. Okay, moving on to my last psychopath, another narcissistic, crazy turd, diabolical devil who feels that since he's not in control of his wife or girlfriend, he's going to rage havoc on everybody. And this is Rajaee Black. This man is a nurse. His ex-wife was a nurse. The girlfriend, I couldn't tell if she was, I couldn't tell if she, all I know, she looks Asian, but he was so mad that he even took her out, and she was a couple months pregnant. He was crazy because they said that the wife had divorced him. Her name was Wendy Black. So she had divorced him for domestic violence or abuse. He had got in trouble at his hospital by blaming one of the doctors, saying that the doctor had put drugs in his locker. Come on. The doctor put drugs in your locker? Really? Because this Tutti Frutti, Rajaee Sharif Black, and his wife, his ex-wife Wendy Black, but he wasn't with her, but he felt that, hey, he was going to take her down too. Okay, so what this Looney Tune did, a Maryland man gunned down his former girlfriend in Baltimore, then murdered his ex-wife and confessed killings on Facebook Live before shooting himself. And while he was doing all this, his kids was in the back seat. So Rajaee Sharif Black, 44, admitted he murdered his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, Tara Labang, a nice-looking little petite lady. He murdered her outside the Columbia apartment building. No. Then he went to the apartment building where his wife. So this is what he said. I couldn't see it, just like I couldn't see that Little John, that monster, talking about his killing his kids. That Facebook Live, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know if you use it. I don't use it. The YouTube Live, all that stuff needs to be cut out. I mean, this is beginning to happen too much. People killing or committing suicide or shooting folks on Facebook and YouTube Live. Okay, so here he goes on, the ex-wife. So he went to her apartment. Again, the kids is in the back seat. So what he had said, I just did something crazy, man. He said, I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head. Yo, oh, I felt like it was a dream. And then he goes on, he said, I never thought I would be that guy. Black said he was distraught over child custody issues with both women. And then he goes on, the has been real crazy. And then he said something about, I ain't going to prison. But guess what, you guys? You're going to hell. And that is a hell. You're going to hell, okay? So yeah, you're not going to prison. You might have been better off in prison, because where you going? Wow. So he goes on to say, the person that really started my depression, oh wow, he said he's depressed. And all of this, the person who started all of this. Now let's keep it real. He left. I couldn't find a picture of the wife. He left his black wife. The black wife got rid of him. She divorced him. Attractive petite lady, also a nurse. Both of these women, the wife, the ex-wife, and the Asian lady that he hooked up with, and she was pregnant, both nurses. So he's saying the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. Black continued. So she next. Can you believe that? He said all this on Facebook Live, and ain't nobody try to contact the police. Ain't nobody try to call this woman to let her know. And then he goes on, he said, then I'm going to do myself too. But I just wanted to say this to people. Don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. What? He said, don't play with these people. Man, the wife, Wendy, the ex-wife, had nothing to do with this. She's not with him. She let him come and pick up his kids. He went to the other lady's house, Tara Labang. I don't know what happened. That's where it happened at. He got mad or something happened with him and his girlfriend. And then so he's mad. He's driving around. He's got a BMW. So police said Black fatally shot the woman moments later before turning the gun on himself. The couple's 2 children were found unhurt in his gray BMW outside the woman's apartment building. Investigators believe Rajaee came to Colombia after just committing a domestic homicide short time earlier in Baltimore. So he was in another town or another community when he killed his Asian girlfriend. And then he goes to the White House and whacks her. The only thing I can say that's good out of this, he didn't kill his poor children. He had enough sense not to be like Little John or to be like David Moore Rojas and the other gentleman. He didn't kill his kid. I don't know what happened with him and Labang. They're saying here Tara had also worked at Capital Region Health. Hospital officials told the newspaper. Meanwhile, in Baltimore, Mayor Brandon Scott decried the gun violence that shattered multiple families. So back to this knucklehead. He had been accused of, I don't know, stealing drugs at the hospital where he had previously worked. I don't know if he was working there with his first wife, and had the nerve to put it on one of the doctors and said that the doctor had put the drugs in his locker. He also complained about having to drive back and forth from Baltimore to New York because he got a job, but they had him working in the COVID section and he didn't want to work in the COVID. So again, all these unfortunate goons that these beautiful, attractive, smart women hooked up with, sick in the head, hateful, revengeful, demonic, devil's disciples, devil's rejects. How could this been avoided? I think Facebook Live needs to be taken down. I think that once the police or the judge sign these orders or these protection orders, ladies, don't continue staying in the same house. Don't have him with you. I mean, if you're going to see him, have your dad or grandpa or someone with you, and be Glock and lock and ready and loaded. You know, this has happened too much, and it needs to be some bills, some laws signed into action. Once a person threatens you, that's it. Put them in jail. I don't know how a person can threaten someone and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill you, Wendy. I'm going to kill you, little Linda. I'm going to do this to you, little Ashton. I'm going to do this to you, little Tara. This is how it's going to go down. That person should be put in jail, put in prison. There should be a protective order. The children should not have to ever see him until they turn 18 or 21 and they want to see him on their own. When you have all this, move, relocate. I don't know. Go to Hawaii. Go to the South Pole. Go to Siberia. But I would really try to get away from these turkeys. Again, you guys, let's lift these people up, these families up in prayers. Light the white candle. Say your 23rd 91 Psalm over these precious little angels, because it's just not fair. It is not fair. And you do not have the right, whether you are the man, the mom, the dad, the woman, to take out a precious innocent child that did not ask to come here. You do not have that right. I'm sorry, you don't. So again, thank you for joining me and Maria Loves to Talk. Please leave me those comments. I will put some, I don't know. Leave me those comments. Stay blessed, healthy, love on your kids, agape love, mama, daddy love. And anoint your kids and pray over them like the good pastor said to do. Thank you.